You, yes, you, watching this video, are actually the entire universe experiencing ourselves as a human being watching a YouTube video reminding ourselves of what we are. This realization, taken into the heart and understood in spite of false egoic separation, is enlightenment. You, as a part of the universe made from the same quantum phenomena, atoms, and organic chemistry as everything else, is, by definition, no different from the earth, wind, and stars from which our components originated. The reason we needed to remind ourselves of this is because in order for life to develop into single-celled organisms, let alone self-aware, conscious human beings, we must use our fundamental components to create a separation of inside and out. This false duality allows organic chemistry to work the way it has developed on Earth. Incidentally, this is why we only experience time in the causally forward direction at the rate that we experience it. Human beings, and seemingly all life on Earth, derive their life energy through chemical processes that work in the so-called forward direction. It is entirely possible, nay probable, that we, the universe, have developed forms of life that experience ourselves in the opposite time direction. And it is the case that other life experiences different time rates. Trees, for instance, certainly experience time in the same direction as humans do, but at a much slower rate. Returning to the false duality necessary for life, in order for evolution and chance to lead to more and more complex life, there needs to be, from the beginning, a defined 3D border at which the organism, or more precisely, the body, ends. We are like rooms to a house. A house is a singular thing on its own, but usually contains separate rooms that within itself, in their totality, form the house, and while you may name individual rooms by their function, bedroom, living room, bathroom, etc., you would probably never say that they weren't also the house. Divisible parts, yes, but you don't usually leave the house and come back in when moving from one room to another. This applies both to the organs of a complex life and how different experiences are related within the one universal reality. This necessary duality is what leads to the ego, or personality, the part of you behind your eyes that controls your body and that can contemplate its own existence. The ego was evolved to keep the body alive and so has no reason on a regular basis to remind us that we are in fact everything, as that provides no benefit to personal survival, at least in a natural evolutionary sense. Now that we have begun to decide our own evolution because of our egos, its original purpose, to seek pleasure and avoid pain and keep the body alive, has become maladaptive and has led to much suffering and even ecological disaster. Selfishness is maladaptive in that it leads to destruction and disconnection from the one reality of love, which leads to undesirable experiences in this or a future lifetime. It should be mentioned that there is no such thing as right and wrong ultimately, just actions and consequences, cause and effect. This is what is known as karma. It is not justice, but it is simply the result of our actions. To summarize, there is nothing that empirically separates what you call you from the rest of the universe that we are. Yet by virtue of a membrane, skin, or wall, also made from the whole, creates a place for organic chemistry, or life, to develop, which led to the ego, or personality, that gives us our individuality with which to experience the whole. This oneness, it should be noted, even applies to things we would consider to be artificial, or the product of human creative force. You are as much the device being used to get this reminder as the human being being reminded. Therefore, you are reminding yourself of what we are so that you can use this knowledge to fulfill your dharma or purpose for which you incarnated. Welcome to reality.
Holy shit. Yeah, Mikey, I think he likes it.